So usually step, pop, cut, bam. I can walk him around in the park, catch and just spin, come in. It's the same movement, right? I can cut him, bam. Another one, bam, bam, bam. Pop, that. What's up guys, we got another stabbing incident in Auckland today in Newlands Mall. That reminds me, instead of hitting the back today, we're going to show you some self-defense against knife attack. First we use a blade. There's some self-defense drill we do in Christchurch Hapkido against knife attack, but some of this drill require a lot of practice. So it's easier for me to show you the concept that you can adapt in a situation like this, rather than show you techniques which you may not be able to do if you suddenly got attacked. So for example, if someone was going to come to me with a knife, first of all you have to understand where is the sharp point and where the blade is, because some knife comes with only one blade. Most of the knife comes only one side that's sharp. You get a normal kitchen knife, what he can do is he can stab you and he can slice you from here, but not on the back of the knife. The psychology behind this is, I understand the person with the knife, his focus is on the knife. If I'm fighting him without a knife, for example, if he's going to fight me now, I can't actually tell where the attack is coming from. The attack can come from here, it could be a knee, it could be a grab, it can be anything. However, if the person is holding a knife, that actually makes things easy, because if I got a knife attacker, I know he's either going to slice me or cut me with a knife. So if his knife is pointing at me like that, immediately I know that's going to be a stab. There's no other way except he wants to slice my toe. But if his knife is higher, it's probably a slice. So you gotta know where the action is coming from. Okay, so let's go with the first. This is not rehearsed, by the way. I'm just going with this natural response. Let's start with a stab. Okay, if it's a stab, be prepared to get stabbed when you are facing somebody with a knife, because you can't always guarantee that you are faster than the guy. However, if I'm going to get stabbed or sliced, I got to make sure that he's going to cut me where it's less vulnerable. So if my hands are out here and he's going to cut me, stab or slice me, that's going to cut my veins open and the blood's going to burst out. I won't live very long after that. If I had to get cut, I'd rather he cut my muscle here. So not here, not the neck, and not inside here. That's where you'll bleed to death. So my hand will be down this way. If he has to cut me, you'll be on my forearm right here. Okay, that's what we learned in Christchurch Hapkido. We don't want to get sliced where it's going to burst our veins open. So here it comes again. If I have to turn my body, it has to be this way. If he has to cut me, it's not on the vital point. You come in, boom, I will stab. I will snap in. From here, he becomes vulnerable, right? Let's go a bit faster. Pop, pop. Then I slice him. Pop. I will cut him. Pop. You feel that? Maybe not use the knife for this one, because I don't want to cut him. This is soft. Pretend that's a knife. One more time. Stab. Pop. Cut. Bam. Hostage position. Right? He's got me covered. Okay. Where's the blade? Okay. He's got the blade here. Usually the blade will be facing you, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. If I'm shorter, because I'm taller than him. The first thing you want to do is show vulnerability. Make you look like that you don't know how to fight at all. So I'm no threat to you. Don't kill me. Don't slice me. I'll do anything you say. That's the kind of vibe you want to pass on to your attacker. And because the blade's here now, really trying to threaten me. Put the blade on my neck. All right. I want to feel that blade. So he is threatening me. The blade is sinking into my skin. I can see the blades here. Now his hand is here, right? So you want the blade to go away from you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show vulnerable by raising my hand, because if your hand's down here, that will give him time to react. I don't want to give him time. My hand will be up here, looking all vulnerable, and suddenly my hand is really close to his hand. I'll pull out his hand and pull out that way. The vulnerable part is the thumb. You get a good grip of his thumb. Even if you cut your index finger slightly, it's better than get cut in the throat. So I'm going to go really fast. I would create a bit of space by sticking my hand to it and pull as hard as I can. Usually attack will pick people weaker than them, so just this wouldn't do it. I'm going to pull, then I will take a step to the other side, grab, pull down here, step out, bam. You can put your knee into it if you want to finish the fight. If your friend's in danger, if this guy's gonna kill you, here one more time. Try not to kill another person if you're able to. So pull, from here, get out, and then step the thigh. Pop, 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 pop. That's a lot better than stepping into the guts. Yeah. Kill somebody. In a situation like this, you could be the attacker instead of him. You just never know how the judge is gonna see it. Before that, like we did that, right? Yep. One. Bam, bam. And you're up against the wall. You usually want to back up, but if you start doing that, maybe the knife is coming to your face. So you gotta be fast. So from here. Yeah, you feel that, right? So one more time. So usually I can walk him around in the park because he's all like that. To me, it's quite practical. We have learned the other one, which is like a cross block. You come in, yeah, he comes in. I'm gonna like cross block. I come in. It's the same movement, right? I can cut him, bam, cut through. But this kind of technique takes a lot of practice. A lot of practice. I'll give you another one. If he cuts, you can use a real knife for this one because I'm not gonna cut you. I'm just gonna break your elbow this time. Okay, so if he cuts me, I grab it from here. His elbow is the vulnerable point. So if I just put my hip, put his elbow on me, and I spin, bam, like that, I'm gonna throw him downwards that way. And because his arm end up like this, it's gonna snap half from here. One more time. Turn. You have to go fast though. I can't do it here because that will break the elbow. Can you feel that? So it's called a speed throw. You cannot do this slowly. You do it slowly by submitting him down. Yeah, possible. You can possibly do that. But the whole point is, if somebody's trying to stab me with a knife, I'm not going to be too worried about breaking his elbow. So I'm going to go really fast, catch, and just spin. He's preserving himself by bending it. But normally, if you're stabbing somebody, you wouldn't bend your elbow. You'll be going all the way out, right? So you'll be going all the way out. That's when I snap it. Just simply by twisting. So a lot of movement on his side, not much on my side. I have all the power and all the momentum. One more time. Come in, boom, bam. Right. He can feel it. He will tumble. By flipping him, I got hold of his hand. I'm not going to let this hand go. But again, he can't fight anymore. Now these are more sophisticated techniques. So give me that slice as you were doing before. Here I can break the elbow again. So it's like a upper block, right? Pop from here, I just have to do this. Now he's preserving. He knows what I'm doing now. He doesn't do Hapkido, but normally people's arm is not bent like this. And that's when I snap it. So you can relax. I'm not going to break your elbow. So cut. I'm going to just jam here. Now his elbow is under where my arms are. And all I have to do is do this. Turn. That has a lot more power than his elbow can handle. One more time. Pop. That. Right? If I spin more, he's going to turn with me. And you can yank more than once. So one more time. Pop, you can go a bit faster, make it more realistic. Go in and pop. I can yank, yank, yank. Can you feel that? If you don't break it the first time, you probably break it the second or third time. Yank, yank, yank. And that's like a kata movement. Snapping, snapping. Okay. The concept I'm trying to pass on today is how you protect yourself against a knife attack. The situation today, I think, is a bit hard to say because I think people are just shopping around New Lin Mall, and if somebody just walk up to you and suddenly stab you, overseas in big cities, people get stabbed every day. In London, that's a big problem. So knowing how to defend yourself against knife attack when you're sober is probably a very useful skill. Even for a lot of black belts, suddenly when you hold a knife, they get pretty lost because we're used to fighting bare hand. Suddenly, someone with no skill pull out a knife. Doesn't matter what you do, Muay Thai, suddenly you get pretty lost because everything is here, right? You just can't block anything anymore. You can't check, you can't block. They can just slice you and stab you. So if somebody comes to you with a knife, here's a concept I'll give you today. And if you're untrained, if you want to take anything home, think about this. Somebody's face you with a knife, okay? Usually people don't have a samurai sword. It's usually a kitchen knife, some sort of blade. If you have to protect yourself with muscles, not your vital points, okay? So cover yourself up, and usually it's good to show vulnerability. Make yourself look vulnerable. So if he's trying to fight me and I start going like this, I think that's like asking for trouble. I'd rather just go, oh, no, 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 no. So he's gonna relax, thinking I'm just a sheep, I'm just a lamb, he's gonna slice me. Make him relax so his movement become a lot more predictable, right? And as I show you, if the knife comes, don't make the knife, oh, you can try and stab me. Step out of the way. What you don't want to do is step in where you might get hit or you might get cut. You know, you don't want to go this way. I think it's quite dangerous. Go outside. It's like fighting. You want to go here. You want to go there because he can follow up on the other side. You want to go this way instead of the other way. So if I was grabbing him, that hand, and the knife started to swing towards me, you just never know how sharp the knife is. Some knife can slice paper, and that will be enough to cut you open. If you have to just turn it, just turn yourself. And if you're in the supermarket and you face somebody with a knife, grab anything. Like, if he's stabbing me, if he's got a knife, it's so dangerous, right? But as long as I have this, it makes his job a lot harder. You can buy yourself a lot of time and escape. How do you feel now? He suddenly lost all his arsenals because I got an object. Yeah. Anything I can grab will help you, right? If you do grab anything in your hands, obviously if you got a long object, he's got a knife, I got more advantage. Now, naturally, what people want to do is, when you're in a fight, he's got a knife, I got a broom or something like that, and we start going, you know, you want to hit, I'm trying to hit him somewhere, but remember, all his advantage is on that blade. So, don't do this or try to block the knife. Don't block it. Relax. Relax. Here's what I'm going to do. Come at me. Oh. Do you know how weak your hands are, your fingers are? Just relax, because if you are tense, you'll be very slow. All I have to do is, when he comes in, pop, I'm just gonna flick it. I can't really do it to him. I'm gonna hurt him, right? Pop, right. He's got some protection on his hand, and he has a real blade, right? So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna just relax, and he's gonna try and stab me. And if I just do that, imagine that was his hand. The back of hand, the knuckle finger, it doesn't matter. I can just go and just whack him. I can just whack. Once you whack that hand 2 or 3 times, he's gone. Right? Something very important. If you can defend with the object in your hand, pick something that you can whack his hand with. Like, I picked this because it's probably easier to find in the supermarket. If you don't, then you can't find shoes, right? I'm just going to find anything I can find. Similarly, if you can find something that's hard in the supermarket or in the garage or whatever, pick something and think about whacking his hand with it, right? So hold it firmly, and when he comes, just whack that hand, whack the finger, whack the knife off. Then you won halfway there already, right? You can, after the knife's gone, then you can whack his head, whack his knee, and run. Just disable him. You can learn all the skills that I just taught you, but this will take a lot of practice. I mean, if I ask you to do any kind of lock, any kind of zip lock, you know, come in, boom, boom, zip lock, this takes a lot of practice. People can't get it in 1 day or 2 days. Even if you practice today, you got it, but you don't practice for 6 months, you'll forget about it. Get something you can to block the knife. That will help you. In a knife attack situation, always remember his attention is on the knife as much as you are. So if you got hold of this knife, it paralyzes him for like 1 or 2 seconds. If you are fighting, for example, I got hold of one hand, his other hand is coming very quickly. It's just natural response. You grab my hand, I'm going to do something very fast. But a knife attack, not so much. Usually if you get hold of the knife, he is more worried than you, but if you can point the knife towards him, he's gonna be scared to death. That's the psychology behind it. Here's a few things you need to understand. Whenever a knife attacker comes at you with a knife, his attention is on the knife as much as you are. So I don't expect him to punch me or kick me. It's probably gonna be a stab. So relax, just focus on the knife. Alright, that's the first thing. If you have to defend yourself against a knife attack, make sure you don't show any vulnerable part. Hide it as much as you can. And if you do have to get caught somewhere, that doesn't really matter, so you can keep on fighting. Number 3, if you get hold of a knife, point a knife towards him if you can. Best thing to do is run, but if you cannot run, grab anything. Grab anything at all and fight with an object so you don't get sliced. I'll try and put up more videos with my Hapkido instructor on self-defense for this kind of situation, but again, I'm not preaching that this kind of sophisticated technique will save your life if you don't practice, and it's very hard to just watch a video and know how to defend yourself against some of those attacks. I don't expect to show you any unrealistic fancy move today. I just saw this news. I want to pass on something that you can take away today with you and use it as your guide against a knife attack, because knife attack is probably more common now than it's ever been in our country. I'm pretty sure it's going to be helpful. If you find this video helpful, pass on to your friends, pass on to somebody who may benefit from this. It's more about common sense, it's not about fighting skills, it's about how you can protect yourself in a situation when most people will freeze and be very vulnerable for some psycho attack. Alright guys, comment, subscribe, see you next time.